Yes, guys, hello. Welcome back to SpursRelated. I hope you're having a lovely weekend as we approach the end of the weekend and what was an actual eventful weekend in terms of Spurs transfer news, even though we're not playing. But we'll get straight into things. We were live talking about Perisic potentially joining 2 days ago. Don Paratici, Conte, Enoch Levy, they've all made it happen. I'll leave the judge of that as yours. Can't even speak today. But without me slurring any more words, let's invite our usual co-host in. Andre, how are you doing, my friend?
Oh, I'm doing very well. So much has happened. So much will happen. And a couple things outside of the club, too, have happened. That UCL, Nottingham Forest being promoted. I told you that something was going to happen with those guys. I called it, and look where they are. So don't feel too bad about losing to those guys, I guess.
Yeah, listen, it's still absolutely unacceptable losing to them, Andre. But anyway, getting to our co-host of the moment at the moment, the man of the channel, the man that does all the vlogs, is Jack Burford. Jack, welcome on in, mate. How you doing?
Absolutely brilliant. Can't wait to talk about Perisic joining Spurs. What a signing to kick off the window. And yeah, looking forward to catching up with you guys.
Absolutely love it, Jack. And Jack will be joining us a lot more regularly on these transfer rumours, or I say rumours, transfer news videos, updates throughout the summer. So big up to Jack. Welcome in. I can't even talk today. I'm so sorry, guys. Welcome him on in, and let's get into the chat with the Spurs-related balls. All queuing. There's already 21 of you across all socials. The support has been crazy recently. Do smash a thumbs up if you are enjoying the videos. But let's get into things quickly. A&R Army, as always, saying, guys, guess who got the UCL final winner, right? You did say Real Madrid. I do remember that. Finn's in here saying, guys, big up Finn. A&R Army's also saying Spence promoted with Forest might be a viable option for right wing back. Exactly. Well, don't forget he's actually a Middlesbrough player that was on loan at Forest, so maybe obviously Forest will go back in for him. I don't know if there's a clause in the contract, but listen, we'll see what happens there. Finn's saying he want to stay with Forest. Listen, the vibes were so high when Forest just went up. Then the atmosphere was crazy at Wembley today, absolutely crazy. Welsh Gal saying big up James, Andre, and Jack. Big yourself up, Welsh Girl. Thanks for joining us. Finn saying good to see you, Jack, and Andre and James, of course. Make sure you get that one in there, Finn. Just nice seeing fresh faces. But listen, guys, this video today we will talk about obviously the huge news yesterday. Perišić getting the here we go from Fabrizio Romano. He gave us the little comment on our social media just to make sure it was 100% confirmed if it wasn't already. And yeah, we're going to talk about Perisic. We're also going to talk about Fraser Forster, which should be announced very, very soon. Also, here we go on there a few days ago as well, so that one's confirmed. So we have another backup goalie that's not Gollini, which might be music to some people's ears. We're also going to look at the goalkeepers and the overview from the season, so Lloris's stats, and of course Gollini, who will be exiting us, more than likely stats as well. Overview of future transfers and opinions on future transfers, and then we're going to do a little bit of final thoughts, maybe Jack's opinions on potential next signings. But we're going to start with the Champions League final. I know it's a Spurs channel, but of course most people would have watched it last night. Real Madrid beating Liverpool by 1-0. A lot of people expected Liverpool to win. Liverpool were the strong favourites. I'm going to start with Jack. Jack, did you watch the game, and what did you think of it, mate?
Yes, I did watch the game, and to be honest, I thought it wasn't as exciting as I would have hoped. I thought it was going to be a real close game. I thought Real Madrid would sit in as they did and try to hit them on the counter-attack, and Liverpool would dominate the ball, which is kind of how it worked out. I do think Liverpool were a bit unlucky. They did create some good opportunities, but Thibaut Courtois was absolutely unbelievable. Like, yeah, that save early on against Sadio Mane, and just Salah, I think in the 85th minute, he just kept them in that game. And in the end, I guess they were deserved winners.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. I mean, like you said, it was quite a flat game. But listen, at the end of the day, Real Madrid did what they needed to do. Defensively, they were brilliant. And, of course, the main reason was the goalkeeping display from Thibaut Courtois. As you said, man of the match by far. Andre, what did you make of it, mate?
Yeah, I agree. Just two players to really highlight here. Courtois and Trent. Buddy, got to get that defensive stuff in order, man. Yeah, kind of cost them that one. It was a fast ball, but still, like, how do you leave Vinicius Jr. on marks like that? That's unacceptable. But that's all I have to say. We're very, very slow game, but the goal was deserved. So good job.
Yeah, absolutely. Neil saying, why am I still nervous about next season? It's never been a good thing being a Spurs fan. Exactly, Neil. You know, we could sign all the best players in the world and we'd still be nervous. Exactly that. I'm actually feeling optimistic, to be honest with you, but I can see what you mean. Ishak saying it's been said that there are 2 more deals to be done by next week. Does that include Forster or someone else with Bastoni? Andre, anything on this?
So as far as I've heard from the news outlets, it looks like Forster will be the for sure signing, and Bastoni is the other one that's really been highlighted. We will definitely put out a video the minute that becomes more concrete. But for now, we thought we would just focus on these 2 guys and then talk about our 2 goalkeepers that really do deserve a bit of a review.
Okay, great. Joe's in it. After last night, I can confirm that Joe was absolutely devastated. So, you know, I guess you could say almost a little bit of karma for predicting Arsenal top 4. But anyway, Joe, Forest will have to cough up 30 million to sign Spence. They will need to use their funds to bat out the squad for a tough Prem season. Spence is going to a top 10 side for sure. Did you say Arsenal was a top 10 side? Okay. Arsenal, Leicester or Spurs. Okay. Do you know what? I can see him going to one of them, but I still think Forest will have to try and sign him. Like, he was a key part of them winning, you know, going up in promotion this season. He was a very, very good player for them. So I don't know. Maybe there is a term. Joe, you probably know more than me, of course, but I thought there'd be a term for maybe Forest to get a little bit of a deal on that. Courtois has been just as big of a hero as Benzema this season. Exactly, absolutely. He single-handedly won in that final. Let's be honest. Let's talk about the Champions League final. Let's not, says Joe. When making these signings, you have to think how they will be able to handle top European clubs and players. Exactly. Joe saying you can't blame Trent. Perfect ball and Vinny made an expert run. He was flawless other than that harsh comment.
Oh.
Hey, one mistake can be costly, no?
I'll add in there. I'll quickly add. I think that Joe's got a fair point. I definitely agree that, of course, it's going to be a hard ball to stop when it's coming across quickly across goal. But you've also got to mention Trent is so key in part of Liverpool's attack, and he really wasn't putting in many good balls last night. And his attacking output wasn't as strong. That's partly because Real Madrid was so strong defensively, but I feel like he didn't rise to the occasion as many people thought he would. So, Joe, I think you've got to catch your man out there. He really didn't deliver when he should have done.
Do you know what? Do you know what I was just going to say? The other thing about Trent that frustrated me, not defensively, but like going forward last night, was his corners. I mean, most of the corners didn't clear the first man. I thought I was watching Christian Eriksen at Tottenham. It was absolutely frustrating to watch. But anyway, obviously, we're not going to talk too much about the Champions League final. We've got plenty to talk about at Tottenham. Toxic Headshot. Haven't seen you for a little while, mate. Hi, guys. How you doing, mate? Nice to see you. Oh, Jack, what's Jack cracking open there? Could be anything. Oh, it's just water. Yeah,
just water. Stay hydrated.
Just water today. Forest aren't going to spend 30 million on a wing back. No chance. They have to be smart with their money than that. Well, they just got 100 and whatever million for getting up with the playoffs, Joe. So who knows? Good evening, everyone. Simply Ace, big yourself up. Thanks for joining. One mistake can be costly. Tell that to Musa.
Oh, that's a low blow.
We're done.
That was a low blow on a Tottenham channel, Joe. That was a very low blow. Was never a handball, says Finn. Camille Cabello dancing while people were getting tear gassed outside. What a mess of a final. Yeah, absolute shocking in terms of like what on earth was going on outside. It was absolutely shocking scenes. People with tickets weren't able to get in. It looked awful. Diego C. Palace, even and all. Welcome on in, Diego Palace. I hope you're doing well, mate. Fresh face, new face, I believe. But lovely to see you. A couple more comments and then we'll get to it. The producers in the background are telling me to move on. Just got the the earful. Courtois was a brick wall. Liverpool were not on their game. Fair play to Real Madrid. Love Modric. Absolutely love Modric. Trent was using that special headgear to help him with his set pieces. Seems that was useless. Simply Aces, congratulations to Real Madrid. Nice to see Liverpool's fans' faces. We opened the way how to beat Liverpool. Carlo and Conte, great minds. And Ishak, finally, do you really think we will sign Bastoni with a central centre-back or just one? I can see us signing Bastoni. We'll get into things in just a minute, Ishak. And Diego Palacios give us Elise. Yeah, absolutely decent player. But Andre, over to you, mate, because I know you are absolutely dying to get into this Perisic news.
Well, of course, we had to touch on that UCL final, but let's get on to our main topic today. The main man himself, the one that we talked about so much, Perisic. Looks like he's
Look
coming
at
in.
that. What
Look
a
at that
graphic.
beautiful graphic made by our Spurs-related team. Just got to shout them out there. But yeah, so how about we start with getting Jack's opinion here? We haven't heard his yet.
Right, so Ivan Perisic, where shall we start? Left wing back, left winger, he can do multiple roles. And I honestly think he's the perfect player to add to Conte's team at the minute. He's got that experience, he can use both feet. He's actually predominantly right-footed, which I didn't even know until I did my research today. So he can play on the right as well. It's literally perfect for what we need. He obviously scored a goal in the semi-final of the World Cup, the final of the World Cup. He brings that experience, he brings that winning mentality. And last season, he had, I think, 8 goals and 7 assists in 35 games, which is incredible from a left wing back's point of view. So he's just adding goals, assists, experience. What more can we ask for?
Yeah, I agree on this one. And actually, across all competitions, it was 10 goals and 9 assists in 49 matches.
Wow.
Which, yeah, like I think we were mentioning this earlier in the previous video with James, that the wing backs, they need to be all around players. They're the most important players in a Conte system. So I feel like we haven't really seen what the Conte system can really do. But once we make the signings we need to for these wingbacks, we're going to see a completely new and much revitalized Tottenham team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you said, Jack, the fact that this guy's weak foot is as good as his strong foot, you know, that's screaming out Christian Eriksen. Of course, he's a completely different player to Christian Eriksen, but the fact that he's so versatile and the fact he can play many different positions, and he almost solves 2 problems at once, right? Because, you know, we've almost been dying out for a sub winger that can come on and change the game. But we've been dying out for wing backs in both right wing back and left wing back because we're not fully convinced on Reguilón, Sessegnon, Doherty and Emerson, right? We've all got doubts on every single one of them. Maybe Doherty the least out of all of them. But let's be honest, Perisic covers both of those sides. You know, if we're short on right wing back next season, we got Perisic. If we're short on left wing back and Reguilón exits, we got Perisic. I would still like to see Kostic come in as well, because I just think that would be huge. But I think this covers many different problems in one signing, like 3 different positions, I'd say.
Yeah.
And that is huge. Having a player that offers that much squad depth just as one player is absolutely brilliant. And I think it's exactly what Spurs have been crying out for. And the other thing is, we know he can score a goal, but the fact he is very much a Conte player, Conte knows exactly how he works. He's played in so many different leagues as well. Like I was doing a bit of background research. Of course, we remember him at Inter Milan and Bayern Munich, but he's played in many different leagues as well as that as well. Over the space of his career, he's played for like 6 or 7 different clubs. He's a very, very experienced player, and I think that is what we're missing in this dressing room at the moment. It's actually bar maybe Son, Kane, and Lloris. It's actually quite a young squad. You know, you think of Romero, 23. You think of Kulusevski, 21. I think Bentancur's 24 or 25. You know, these players are quite young. We need some more experienced players, winners in that team. And that is absolutely huge getting in Perisic because he brings exactly that. So there's many different elements why I think Perisic is an absolutely huge signing. But I mean, Jack, maybe you want to take it over and say, like, you know, what you're most looking forward to seeing from Perisic and where you think he would fit in.
No, definitely. What I'm really excited about is obviously the news that we're definitely going to keep Son hopefully this season. I think he's Spurs through and through. Obviously, I think we all saw the rumours earlier today saying that there was a chance Liverpool might have bidded for him if we didn't make top 4. But they're both going to be at White Hart Lane next season. And I think it's really going to be scary because they're both 2-footed. So you never know what you're going to get from both of them. They could overlap each other. They could spray the ball on the other wing. It's just, and they can both shoot. They're both going to add so many goals and assists. I think it's going to be scary. It could even be the Son and Perisic link up, adding to the Son and Kane. I just think he's a perfect player to add to our system.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, couldn't agree more. The fact, like you said, we've got more than one 2-footed player now is absolutely huge in terms of like the unpredictability of our attacks, It's just crazy. Apologies, Jack. We can't see your face.
That's
Just for
all
a
right.
second. You know, it reminds me. I can't remember what film it is where they cover up the face. It's just funny. We're not surprised me if we sign Kostic to play on the left and Perisic to play on the right. Just like Sonny has no weak foot. Love the versatility. Pretty much exactly what Jack's just said there. Perisic, quality signing. He scores goals and creates chances. It's a perfect Conte signing. Absolutely, simply ace. Chris is in here. Says big up James, Andre, and Jack. Big yourself up, Chris. Absolutely, like I said the other day, loving your fan reactions, mate. We'll have to get you on the channel very soon. Diego Palace saying, even in Ayanami, I hope not. Lloris is not for pouching at the moment, but I'm not surprised a club like Spurs would be interested in exactly that. Diego Palace, tell me, are you a bit of a Spurs fan as well as Palace, or are you just interested in Spurs? Maybe you have family members that are Spurs. Let us know. It's interesting. Bit of a different kind of outlook in this chat today. Competition for key places is important. To me, it's a miracle if we sign 2 players before the window officially opens. I know it's crazy to think that. Like we were talking in January about not signing a player on the 30th of January, and bang, you know, we've already agreed 2 signings before June. It's crazy. Does the Perisic deal dampen our chances of signing Bastoni because Inter may have a grudge against us for signing Perisic? I don't think so. You know, we signed 2 players from Juventus in the January window. Inter also are struggling financially, don't forget. Like, we kind of all forgotten about that. So, I mean, let's be honest. I don't think that's much of a problem. Ayanami saying all the rival fans slandering this deal and downplaying his whole career. Just wait until you see him doing laps around their favourite player. I mean, this guy covers so much ground at the age of 33. It's crazy. I'm sure Andre has some stats. He definitely read one out the other day. Can't see an issue with signing Bastoni in to need the money exactly. Soon James depends on work, mate. No worries, no pressures, Chris. It'd be good to see on anyway. And Perisic proved himself to be a big game player against Juventus, where he basically destroyed them with 2 important goals. Absolutely. This guy has not got to be underestimated. Like, if I was rating this signing out of 10, I'd probably give it like, maybe an 8. I think an 8 is fair. I think I'd probably go higher if he was a little bit younger, but obviously you've always got to look at it realistically. Like, I'm buzzing about this signing, but it's not like it's a crazy signing like a Romero, a Bastoni. Like, that's up there with the 9s and 10s, I think, personally.
Yeah.
A couple more. Would you guys rather Bastoni or Gvardiol? I don't know a lot about Gvardiol, and I probably pronounced it wrong as well. So that tells you exactly what you need to know about that answer, Finn. And Louis saying big up. Andre, over to you again, mate, for the next one.
Sure. And just quickly to touch on that whole grudge thing, I don't think Inter really has anything to have a grudge against us. I think the Eriksson saga that happened earlier, that's over with. And in terms of Perisic, they offered him a contract, and it wasn't what we're offering him. He wanted, I believe it's $6 million a year, I believe.
98,000 a week, I think.
How much, sorry?
£98,000 a week, so just shy of 100,000
pounds. All right. Well, it's going to be a 2-year contract, so if we're willing to offer what he wants, then Inter can't really be mad at us for that. They were lowballing him, and so he went somewhere else to a coach that he's played under before and won trophies under before. So the fact that he's come to us for free means that the amount of money being invested is still intact. So we could always go and get another left wing back if we really wanted to. Particularly that Kostic one, but I haven't really seen too much going on with that rumor for a while now. So we'll see what happens there. But let's move on to our next player that is incoming, which actually he was the first player that was actually confirmed to be coming into our club, and that is Fraser Forster. He would be coming in as a backup goalkeeper, proven, experienced, believe 34 years old. In the Southampton season, he played 24 matches, most of them coming from the second half. He got 9 wins, 5 draws. He conceded 44 goals, though. And he has 4 clean sheets. So it's not the best here. And those clean sheets came from Newport County, Everton, Norwich, and the one that would make us the most happiest, which is Arsenal. So take it away, James. What do you think?
Yeah, I remember that clean sheet he got against Arsenal, and that was hilarious. I think they won 1-0, didn't they, against Arsenal? And listen, the guy's an experienced player. He's been in the he's made appearances for England. I'm sure of that. I mean, not many, but still made appearances for England. He's an experienced player. And listen, I would be much more confident with him between the sticks than Gollini, and that is not me just having a slander at Gollini. I just think, Fraser Forster is a very, very good backup goalkeeper. I was surprised that Southampton weren't really using him. I think they kind of favoured Alex McCarthy for a lot of last season, and I was sat there thinking, I would rather have Fraser Forster. I think Fraser Forster, you look at maybe like Nick Pope, he's on a similar kind of level to him, I would say. And we were all going on about how we'd love Nick Pope if Burnley got relegated. So, I mean, Fraser Forster, very happy with that. He's not going to play many games because Hugo is, a better keeper. But, it's going to be brilliant for the maybe the group games in the Champions League if we've already qualified, for example. I think Lloris will play most of the actual games. He's going to be huge for the Carabao Cup games, maybe some of the early FA Cup rounds. I just think he's a great cup keeper, to be honest with you. And I think the fact that he's experienced in the Premier League as well is always going to help things. England, homegrown. I think this is my biggest point, is a homegrown player out of the 5 that we need in the quota, I believe. I mean, that ticks one of the 5 boxes. So that's absolutely huge. We only need 4 more. And I think with Harry Winks probably going, this kind of solves that problem on its own. So that's absolutely huge as well. Looking forward to it. Not absolutely buzzing with Fraser Forster. Like, I'm not going to sit here and go, wow, yes, we got an amazing backup keeper. He's a backup keeper and he's a solid one at that. And Gollini was a bit of a shot in the dark. I think he did well for Atalanta, but at the same time, I wasn't convinced on him. To be honest with you. But maybe Jack wants to take it away for his thoughts on this.
Yeah, no, like you say, James, there's nothing to be, oh my word, we've groundbreaking signing. Yeah. But at the end of the day, it's a smart signing. He helps meet the homegrown quota, and he is a good goalkeeper. I remember watching the Arsenal game. He's part of the reason we got top 4. He made a fantastic signing, point blank range, to keep it a 1-0 win for Southampton. So I think it's a smart signing from Tottenham. We knew exactly what we needed. We've gone and got him early because we might have faced some competition later on in the window, as he's English, like you say, he's a good keeper. He's 6'5". So yeah, what more can you ask for as a backup goalkeeper?
Exactly that, Jack. Couldn't agree more. Diego Palace is saying, your Conte for me has always been a gladiator of all European managers. When he got appointed as your manager, I said he would land you Spurs 4th place. You're spot on. Absolutely spot on. Toxic Headshot saying Sergej Milinkovic-Savic, I would like Tottenham to go all out for him and Bastoni and Koulibaly. Wow, you're not messing around, Toxic Headshot. You want everyone from the Serie A. We might as well make a Serie A team here. No, joking aside, that would be quality to get even one of them, to be honest with you. Kev's just said, evening lads, late to the show. Kev, you're not late at all, mate. Welcome on in. Great to see you here. Next season, I want the league title. Look, Toxic Headshot is the most optimistic fan in the chat. I absolutely love it, mate. Conte really uses his backup keeper, so I doubt we'll see a lot of appearances from Forster, but he's a fairly good backup, and he's also very tall. Yeah, I think he's 6'7", if my stats are right. I think Forster will be playing in early rounds of FA Cup and Carabao Cup. Evening, guys. Bodril Mazid, absolute legend. Great to see you, mate. Always great to see you in the chat. Big up, James, Andre, and Jackie says, big yourself up. A couple more comments, guys, and then we'll get into the next bit. If we get Bastoni over the line, we will stamp our foot in this window. Absolutely love it, Louis. And Fraser Forster is an upgrade on Gollini, says Simply Ace, who was absolutely shocking and stood there half the time while not attempting to make saves. Do you think that's a bit harsh from Simply Ace? Yeah, do you think that's a bit harsh, Jack?
I think that's a bit harsh, to be fair. Understandable. Yes, he was not the greatest goalkeeper. But let's be honest, he didn't get many appearances. And also to add, to be honest, everyone around the place loved him. Even though he didn't feature much at the end of the season, he was always putting his arm around players, making sure they're okay. He was doing a good job for Spurs. And although most people are not going to credit they're like bedding players in, but I think I saw something that said he offered Kulusevski to stay in his house while he was just getting to know the players. He was a good player to have around the squad. He clearly liked it there. Yes, he might have not been up to the standards we wanted, and he was definitely not first goalkeeper worthy because we have Lloris. But you know what? He's done the job for Spurs. He kept the vibe good. He kept the players happy, and he's been part of the squad that has got Tottenham top 4 this season. So let's cut him a bit slack and move on.
Yeah, well said, Jack. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't want my footballers to be good Samaritans. I want them to be good footballers. So that's the only thing I've got to say. I'm joking, Joe. I'm joking. But no, I see what you're saying. He's good for the dressing room. It was kind of my point yesterday about, a player's got to fit into a club and help them morale the team, help, be that, help with cohesion in the dressing room. And you are right to an extent, but, they've got to be able to play football at the end of the day.
Course.
And this guy...
I think that... Yeah, sorry, Sam, carry on.
I was just going to say, like, for example, the backup keepers we've had in the past, like, a couple of seasons ago, Gazzaniga, I thought he was a brilliant backup keeper. I thought we shouldn't have let him go, to be honest with you. And Gollini wasn't as good as him, let's be honest. So maybe I'm being a bit harsh again. Andre said I was being a bit harsh about the Reguilon thing the other day. I just think... I'm glad Fraser Forster's here, put it that way.
No, I totally agree. The only reason I spoke about the cohesion and helping bedded players in is because Conte likes to use his goalkeepers in the majority of these matches. So we weren't going to see much of Gollini anyway. So the fact that he at least added something, do you know what I mean? That he got involved with the players. And I think that was better than him standing there moaning, creating problems in the dressing room. So that's the only bit of credit I'd give him. But I totally agree. I've heard things from Alistair Gold saying Fraser Forster's a big character and that he's going to be a good goalkeeper and also a good addition to the squad. So perfect. Let's move on.
Love it. Chris is saying, if we sign Bastoni and another right wing back, we are winning the league. The optimism in the Spurs Relatables tonight. I don't know if you guys have all been on the alcohol this afternoon or whatever, but it's absolutely crazy, to be honest with you. I mean, I love it. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love it. But, I mean, guys, I don't know. If we sign a couple more players, I'm not sure we win in the league. Not yet.
But you never know, James. You never know.
Forster is a bit better than Gollini, but I hope he has the same impact in the dressing room as Gollini. He's a good person and even offered cooler place to stay. Look at this knowledge coming out of Jack Burford, Iron Army tonight. I hope we bring in some set piece coaches. And that's the other thing I didn't mention about Perisic, by the way, guys. I was having a chat to Joe actually the other day. Perisic is very good at set pieces, good at corners, good at free kicks. That's what we've also been lacking, isn't it, since Eriksen left? So I would say that Perisic, for this reason, is also a very good signing as well, because I think he could take some of our set pieces.
It sounds good, yeah.
Gazzaniga away on the Fulham bench is sad. Yeah, it is what it is, though. I wonder if Gollini has taken back his pom-poms. What's going on there, then?
Cheerleading.
Oh, my goodness.
What? Rodex Star said of him, go on, Chris. And do you all expect new signings to be done prior to the July 30th ITEC Cup pre-season tour, which includes a game against Jose Mourinho's Roma? And by the way, that's in South Korea. That's going to be good fun now. I've heard a couple of people that want to go over there in South Korea. A couple of the YouTube guys that want to go out there. So... there could be a few vlogs.
If any people watching, any big financial investors watching, you want to take us free to do some vlogs, then we'll be more than happy to go.
Yeah, we'll set up a GoFundMe and you guys can set us up to go to South Korea, me and Jack.
I promise it'll be good content. It'll be good content, I promise you.
Yeah, we'll get over there. Oh, yeah, Finn is right. The Roma game is in Israel. But, I mean, the other games that are in South Korea, I mean, get us over on that flight, maybe we'll do a little GoFundMe and get over some vlogs there. We'll probably be an absolutely brilliant vlog. We got Don Conte, Don Paratici and Levy left Paratici to do the job. No budget signings again, and let's hire a new medical team too. I think that's enough comments for a minute. But loving all the comments coming through, guys. Keep them up. Over to Andre for the next topic.
Well, definitely, I'm pretty sure Conte wants those signings ASAP. He wants to have his squad training throughout the summer. He wants to have those preseasons locked with the players that he's going to use through the season. He's going to take them seriously because he wants to see what everyone can do. And in terms of the signing a couple more players and winning the league, let's just chill out for a second. We need to win some FA Cups first. None of the no trophy right now is too small for us. We need some trophies. We have to get that winning mentality in us, and I will be happy with whatever trophy we get. Just break the duck, But,
and if that's the Champions League and the Premier League, I'm not going to be complaining.
Oh, yeah, exactly. If we win those, by all means.
Bring them in first. Why not? Why don't we start bigger? But anyway, no, I totally agree, Andre. I do think that we need to walk before we can run. But it's a big, exciting team that we're building. So I can understand the Spurs fans' optimism. When I was a bit younger, I think I would have been saying the same thing. But as I've had a few years of pain losing the Champions League final and the FA Cup semi-finals, then I think maybe you're right, Andre. Maybe we need to start a bit lower.
Yeah, and it's not even starting lower. It's just if we're going to go for that title, which I definitely think we can, we need to be able to win an FA Cup and a Carabao Cup. If we can win those, then the Premier League should be no problem. It's basically that mentality of that last game, you get it over the line, because we've been to the last game a few times now and we don't get it over the line. That's our issue. We have the capabilities to get there. Now let's just get some players who can help the ones who are in our club right now to get that momentum, that when you're in those final 90 minutes, you get the goals you need. So Perisic coming in, it's a big signing, not just because of what he can do with his feet, but also what's up here.
Exactly. Experience, adding players. That's what Conte wants this summer. Players who have been there and they've done it. But building that with the younger players like Kulusevski, like Bentancur, like Romero, potentially Bastoni, I think it'll be a perfect mix, and that will balance out the squad. And that will hopefully build us that winning mentality that we need.
Yeah, and Conte won't be forgiving either, as Toxic Headshot's saying here. His standards are high. He'll want the title, right? So as long as we're stepping up every season, he'll be happy. And so will Harry Kane, who's kind of, he's on this last straw here when it comes to Tottenham. He really wants to he wants to stay loyal to Tottenham. But if Tottenham is going to stay stagnant, it's not happening. But obviously it has changed this season. And while we were on this whole Gollini talk, let's actually touch on him for a bit, because this might be the last time that we talk about him. So Gollini, 10 matches this season, 5 wins, 1 draw, 11 goals conceded, and 2 clean sheets against Pacos and Burnley. So, it seems like some good stats, but you also have to think about who he was given a chance against. It was a bunch of cup games against the lower tier ones, and even then, we didn't do very well.
What do you mean? Pacos de Ferreira are a world-class team.
Okay, sure. So we faced the world-class Pacos Ferreira. I'm sure Irish Hotspur would think he's world-class. They're world-class. He's very liberal with that word.
Let's not call out Irish Hotspur while he's not.
No, he's a legend. He's a legend.
Yeah. Oh no, it's all bands.
He's ahead of the curve.
Yeah, I'm just joking, guys. But in all seriousness, I think Gollini, he put in the work. Became more of a cheerleader by the end of the season. But I'm sure he was just happy to be here. So good for him.
Just happy to be here. That sums it up, doesn't it, really? There's not a lot more you can say, really, to this, is there? I mean, listen, I'm not too sad to see the back of Gollini. I mean,
I'm sure he had a great initiation song. I'm sure it's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, there's not really much more you can talk about. Like you said, a clean sheet against Pacos de Ferreira and Burnley. Is that it?
Oh, and don't forget about the pre-season friendlies against Arsenal and Chelsea. That is important.
Right.
And we did beat Arsenal in the pre-season friendlies.
No, because against Chelsea, you conceded 2 goals, and I remember thinking they were awful.
I was joking, mate.
It was 2-2, and they were awful shots.
But we went 2-0 down. We did go 2-0 down, if you remember that.
Okay, now we're reaching when we're trying to go for the preseasons to talk about.
Yeah,
players.
I could have played in goal against Pacos de Ferreira and probably still won. So I mean, yeah.
All right, well, I guess enough of him. Best of luck, Gollini.
Cheers, Gollini. Thanks for the memories, mate.
Thank you, Gollini.
Not very good memories, though, James.
Penny sheet,
come on, positive.
Gollini on top was a hype merchant in the dressing room. What a legend, says Louis. Absolutely love it.
Okay, let's actually talk about a real legend. I think we need to address this player, Lloris, who, at the end of the day, was having some criticisms at the beginning of the season and came out and showed everyone that he is not done, not even close. So at 35, 43 matches, 16 clean sheets. The final 3 matches were all clean sheets. And with that new contract coming in, that he signed, he's entering his final 2 years. So it might seem that this might not be the season, where we focus on bringing a new up-and-coming first goalkeeper. But I think he'll get the job done next season too. What are your thoughts here?
I'll let Jack start.
I was laughing at the Hugo comments that I think
Hugo Boss.
Brilliant. No, it's brilliant. Honestly, Hugo Lloris has been instrumental in Tottenham getting top four this season and many seasons in the past. I just think he's a world-class goalkeeper. He gets a lot of slander from other teams saying that he's not very good distributing the ball, but I think that's massively improved this season. I think Conte and his coaching team has definitely helped with that. And I think he's a perfect... I don't think we could attract many players, goalkeepers better than Lloris. That's what I think we should talk about, because he's perfect for what we need. I don't think we could go out getting Alisson Edison. So there's no reason why we should be looking at replacing him. He's won the World Cup with France. He's been at Spurs long enough. He knows the players. He knows the squad. And definitely keep him around.
100%. 100%. How long do you think Lloris has got left in him, Jack?
I think maybe 2 seasons. I think the deal we've given him is probably perfect for his span at Spurs. But I think that's probably the right amount of time. I think after that we need to look at younger keepers up and coming. But the 2-year contract that he's got remaining suits him.
Okay.
Well, do you agree with that, or do you think he could have longer?
I think this season for sure. I mean, it's not like suddenly he's going to completely dip, but I do think we judge it at the end of the season, and I think we'll already be looking to get a Hugo replacement. I mean, don't get me wrong, Fraser Forster isn't a Hugo replacement, but a Hugo replacement potentially next January or the summer. And I think that then hinges on where Lloris's future lies after this season. I do think he will be in goal between the sticks for Spurs this season. But if he has a horrendous season and you can see he's not the Hugo he once was or whatever else, I can see us signing someone next January or the summer next summer. But if he continues, I don't see why he can't play the 2023-4 season. Why not? If he's got a 2.5-year contract left, then he's got another season at least, and then another season after that. Why not? Honestly, why not? But
and then even then, I guess you want to add in a goalkeeper that can compete with him. Maybe someone who we see as our first team replacement, but they might need time to bed in. So I think he's definitely for 2 years is a player we have to keep around.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah, and not to mention that, but honestly, I would be happy if he signed another contract after this one, knowing that he's going to be a second goalkeeper, but finishing his career as a Tottenham player. That would be amazing.
I think. Sorry, Andre, to interrupt, but I think he could go back to Lyon. I could see him going back. I don't know what you guys think. Maybe not.
Potentially, I guess it's where he started, and he's obviously French, so it probably makes sense. And he wants to make money. Who doesn't? So it would make sense, but I'd love to see him end his career at Spurs, but I wouldn't blame him if he went back to France.
Yeah, listen, he started his youth career at Nice for 8 years. So 8 years at Nice, and then played for Nice for 72 games, then Lyon for 146, and then Spurs for 336. So he could also go back to Nice, right?
Yeah, makes sense, because they're in and around the spots fighting for Europa League. I think they're not a terrible team, and obviously you still get a good earn there, so it would make sense.
He'd get a really nice reception, welcome home. I think it would be a really nice way to end his career.
It could work, yeah. But
completely slipped over my pun. I feel so stupid, but anyway, I said nice way to end his career. But never mind.
Way to end his career.
Anyway, I think I just ended my career on YouTube. But anyway, I think he has 1 or 2 more seasons
I didn't
left.
catch that.
Says Louis. Finley says, Meslier, honestly, for me, makes perfect sense. Hugo would have to do much next season because he will have a great defence. Exactly. He won't have to do as much, maybe. Diego Palace says avoid signing injury-prone players, I reckon. I have no idea how to pronounce that, sorry.
Van der Voort, I think it is.
Van der Voort.
Who's that?
Martin Van der Voort.
I don't know anything about him, to be honest with you. I can't lie. Hugo deserves to win the league and FA Cup double with Spurs 3 ties. He just deserves a trophy, Derek. He hasn't won a trophy. How poor is that? But good to see you, Derek. Finney says, nice one, James. And Simbier saying, I think Lloris will be here for 2 years, maybe more, depending on if we can get a goalkeeper that is better than him. Exactly what I was kind of saying, than him, which will be difficult to find in capitals. So very difficult. Okay, guys, I think we've covered everything we wanted to in the video. Just to, I can see people in the chat roasting me. Just to kind of end things off, smash in the comments below. I'll put it up on screen. Who do you guys want to see from now? So obviously we've got Perisic over the line. Here we go. That will be announced very soon. Fraser Forster we got over the line. Here we go. That will be announced very soon. Who do you guys want to see as the third Spurs signing this summer next? Is it Kostic? Is it Jed Spence? I don't know. Whoever you think, obviously Bastoni would be probably a very popular one. But a realistic one. Obviously, don't come to me and say Mbappe. A realistic signing that you want to see signed as the third signing for Spurs. I'm going to flip this question on to Jack because he is our new co-host. Jack, who do you want to see next for Spurs?
I've got my summer list here. I get excited talking about transfers because I love it. Who doesn't love refreshing their Twitter page, seeing who we're linked to? But if I had a little realistic wish list, who would I bring in with the money we've just got? I would start off by making sure we get Alessandro Bastoni. I think for £51 million, yes, it's a lot of money, but he's going to revolutionise our defence and he could be there for a long time. So put him in left centre-back. I would also love to see 2 central midfielders, potentially one that sits a bit deeper. So I would like to see Basuma from Brighton, providing his allegations are all sorted and there's no problems there, because I do think he's a fantastic player. He's good on the ball. He's a good passer. He works so hard. And I really do think he's a talented player. And with Højbjerg and Skips, they will all be competing. And I'd love to see Christian Eriksen back on a free. Who wouldn't? I think he'd be perfect. He's been fantastic at Brentford this season. He's very creative. It looks like he can even strike a corner now, which is much needed at Spurs. And if we were to add another player to the forward line, if Bergwijn or Lucas leaves, who would I like to see? I was thinking about this earlier. And some people might not like this, but Prem-proven Richarlison, I think, would be a fantastic addition. He can play anywhere along the front three. I think he's a player who would like to move on from Everton at this stage of his career. He's definitely been a great player in the past that we would have liked. I think Barcelona bid £70 million for him a couple of seasons ago. He's been in the Brazilian squad. I think he's a great player, and he does really work hard. If you watch him this season, he's kind of carried Everton out of the relegation zone and kept them up this season. So he clearly might have a bit of influence in the dressing room as well. We all know he has a bit of problems with Christian Romero, but I'm sure if he's scoring goals, that can all be resolved. So that would be my start of my wish list this summer.
Wow, it's quite a big wish list of that, Jack. I'm going to pick you up on one or two of the points you just made there. Obviously, Richarlison's one you kind of were very, high praise of and one you'd like to see in, which is kind of a controversial one. I think a lot of people in the chat may say no because of maybe his discipline. He's a bit hot-headed. He's a little bit like a Lamella, isn't he, in that sense? Maybe more quality than Lamella at times. But, what is the most you would pay for Richarlison?
Richarlison, I'd say about 40 to 45 million pounds. I think that's a fair price for what he brings to the table. And I just think is one that, because he's proven, because he's versatile, I can see a lot working with Tottenham. I think Conte might like him. It could go either way. I know it's a controversial shout, but I do like him as a player. It's one that if you told me maybe a couple of months ago, I wouldn't have been so sure. But seeing how he's performed for Everton and risen when they needed him most, I quite like it. I'm quite warming to the idea of bringing him to Tottenham.
Yeah, okay, interesting. I'll come over to Andre in just a sec. Let's get what the chat is saying after that question. So Chris wants Bastoni next. Finn wants Bastoni next. Welsh Girl wants Bastoni left. There's a bit of a pattern going on. Louis wants Bastoni or Jed Spence. Chris says Kostic as well. Derek's going for Bastoni. Finn's saying I'd do a job as a Lloris replacement. Chris is also going for Spence. Kev's going for Patrick Schick. Do you know what? I like this. I like this idea because a backup striker no one's really thought about. And do you know what? If Harry Kane gets injured, we then rely on Son to be the forward, and then we're starting to say, well, who's going on to that left wing position? Who's coming in as the left striker? All that kind of thing, depending on the position and the formation we play. So
I just want to interrupt quickly there. Kev got some bad news. I'm pretty sure Leverkusen just extended his contract until 2027, so not going for him.
Who's that?
You're bearer of bad
Schick.
news.
Yeah, sorry.
Patrick Schick, Jack. Brilliant season for Bayer Leverkusen this season. I'm going to actually get his
played
stats
well
up.
in the Euros as well, didn't he? He played really well. He's a good player.
I mean, so he played 27 matches this season, 24 goals, 3 assists. That's a goal contribution a game, exactly. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. And I'll be saying Ericsson probably will happen soon if we're seriously interested, but Bastoni will be class. We'll have to convince him more to come to say, I can't even read. Convince him to come too, since he loves Inter and even has tattoos that symbolise it. Yeah. You know what will happen? It'll probably be like loads of interest from Spurs, loads of interest from other big clubs. And then suddenly, bang, he signs a huge contract with a huge fee, a huge signing on bonus, everything else. I think that could happen. But
I honestly think he's going to come. I really do. I'm going to talk about Bastoni because I think he's an unbelievable player and fits Conte's system perfectly. Alistair Gold even reported today that he's keen to join Conte and reunite with him, because don't forget, Conte's the one who gave him his chance at Inter, and he's won because he wasn't really getting a look in before. So I think we're going to bring in Bastoni, and I think he's perfect for what we need.
Can we clip you saying that? I'm 100% sure that Bastoni's coming. Maybe
I think he's coming. I honestly do. Optimistic Jacko, but see him, watch him at White Hart Lane next season.
Pigeon loves Everton and UB Price. He says Finn. I think Pigeon's Richarlison's nickname. He does that stupid celebration, doesn't he? Bastoni at left centre back as defensive as we are in that area. Sorry, I really can't read today. Bastoni at left centre back is defensively. We are suspect in that area. There are other areas we need major strengthening. Exactly. Maybe Bastoni isn't the priority at SMBAs. Does any of the panel like nice biscuits? Kev's right on tonight. I know not even free to a good home. Not even free to a good home is Harry Winks. We slapped a 25 mil price tag on Winks. Let's hope Newcastle are stupid enough. Richarlison is injury prone. Trust me. Yeah, it could be like a little bit of Ousmane Dembele. Apparently Chelsea are linked with him, which is an interesting one. Get him in the Prem. Welsh girl, maybe a Bulgarian farmer's team will take him. More money than sense. Newcastle. Sorry, Richarlison is utter tripe, and Romero hates him. Oh, cheers, Andre. He's on about the Schick thing. Nobody's really thought about Jack names Richarlison as a target low. Okay, so Andy Midge is in here, but we're welcoming in Andy. He's agreeing with what Finn was saying earlier. Gavardio, I need to look into this guy. Does anyone know?
He's a good player. To be fair, I can butt in. I'm sure Andre's got plenty of stats that he can bring us. But Gavardio, he's been a really good player for RB Leipzig this season. He'd command even a higher fee than Bastoni. I think he's attracting interest from Man City and Chelsea as well. So he'd be one to be hard to prize away. But he's clearly a fantastic player. Very aggressive, likes to win the ball like Romero. But he would be a great addition. But I think Bastoni's more realistic.
Okay.
Well, I'm pretty sure, didn't he just join in 2020? So I feel like, it cost some money. But
a lot of money.
Okay, Andre, who's your next players you want to see at Spurs?
Well,
you're only allowed to name 2 or 3 as well, because Jack's just named 20 to transfer targets that he'd like.
He just put his Santa's wish list on there.
Yeah.
I did that as a wish list.
I don't know. You got so excited. We're name the next Spurs player. Sure. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. Bastoni would be great. Gavardio. We'll actually have Sterling as well. Yeah.
My goodness. Okay, so let's stick with 3 in this time, or maybe 2. So first of all, Bastoni, I think, looks like the most promising one, the one that Conte really is looking at, going get me this guy now before other teams start going you know what, Tottenham might get him. Let's sweep in there and get him the way that Liverpool did to us for Luis Diaz, which was a blessing in disguise because we went for Kulusevski and look how that turned out. But so Bastoni, I think, would be perfect. I personally think we should think about looking at Lamptey again. I still haven't stopped.
Too injury prone for me, but I'm not gonna. I want to hear your defense.
Well, let's get another question out in the chat. Do you know what? We love the talking points, guys. Lamptey, yes or no? Would you take Tariq Lamptey from Brighton at Tottenham?
I think he's a great player. I think he's a great player, but he commands about 40 to 50 million pounds. He's very injury prone. His final ball into the box is not great, and we know Conte relies on good balls into the box first time. I think he's a player with a lot of potential, but right now with the fee he commands, I don't think it's one we should be looking at. But I'm looking forward to what Andre's got to say.
I was just going to say one thing before Andre carries on. I was just going to say one thing is he would tick the homegrown list
for 50 million pounds.
But Ben White was 50 million pounds. Sorry, Ben Shite. Sorry, got it wrong. Ben Shite was 50 million pounds, and Arsenal go on about him, and he's ticked the homegrown list, and he's an.
And where did they finish, James? Where did they finish? They finished fifth.
And Ben White.
And who did we bring in for 40? Who did we bring in for 40 million pounds? 10 million less than Ben White. So clearly, we made the right decision. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. So
it's the homegrown tax, isn't it? That's why it's so much.
Well, here is my thing about Lamptey, okay? Because it was more of a reach here, just to really look at him. But yeah, because he would tick a few boxes. He's young. He's promising. I think he's being wasted at Brighton. But those injuries he's been getting recently are a bit of a worry. And also the fact that, yeah, because he's English, they're going to sort of up that price by a lot. And if they're going to command 50 million for this guy, that's about a third of the investment. I'm good. Okay, but it's worth looking at.
Agreed.
Yeah, Andy, exactly. If he's going for 20, 25 maybe, then sure, we can look into
that. They won't let him go for that. I can tell you that for nothing.
I like Timmy Walker's shout. Cucurella, he's a great player.
Yeah, Cucurella. Would you guys take Cucurella maybe?
Definitely. But we've got Perisic now. But in future, say we offloaded Reggie on, then I think Cucurella from Brighton. He's strong defensively. He's good on the ball, pops it off quick, would work in the Conte system. But with Perisic, I don't think we need another left wing back.
Okay, yeah. I mean, Finn's suggesting Cucurella, but Andy Midge has gone back to the homegrown option. You could go for Spence. And unbelievable. I've seen this guy in person now. Like, I went and watched, for some reason, I got invited to a Fulham Nottingham Forest game, and Nottingham Forest won the game. This was just before the season ended. And Jed Spence was brilliant, by the way. Really positive, runs down the wing nicely, gets back nicely. Positionally, maybe not the best. He's a little bit like a Reguilon. He gets forward and then forgets to get back. But Conte could drill that into him. Jed Spence could be a very, very, very good signing. Lamptey is too lightweight for us, says Derek. Now being injured, a lot less of a risk with his son is Spence, who also plays as a wing back. A lot of people are a fan of Spence. Liverpool are doing a parade with the FA Cup and Carabao Cup after bottling the UCL and Premier League in the span of the league. No way are they doing that. That's unbelievable.
They did it earlier today. I don't blame them, to be fair. Tottenham won the FA Cup and
but that's different. Yeah, but that's different. If we win it, it's like ridiculous. If Liverpool bottled a quad and made it a double, it's not. A lot of Liverpool fans will be disappointed with their season now. I think. I really do think that.
Understandably so, but I still think they're 1 point of Man City, who everyone raves about being the best team in Europe, and they were unlucky not to win the Champions League final. Yes, they won their other two matches on penalties, but I will stick up for Liverpool, and I still think they're a great team, and they've still achieved a lot this season.
Yeah, fair enough. Lily White Yid saying no to Lamptey, bring Matty Cash in as a right wing back. What do you guys think of that? Matty Cash, not one we talked about. By the way, I don't really like Matty Cash for what he did on Matt Doherty. He's put him out for months. I mean, disgusting challenge. But, I mean, is he a good player? Probably a good player. Is he Spurs quality? Maybe another talking point in the chat, guys. Let us know if you take Matty Cash. But Lily White Yid, welcome on in, mate. And thanks for bringing up another talking point. Tapiwa is in here. It says, big up, lads. Tapiwa, always a pleasure to see you, mate. Guys, there's 35 of you across all socials at the moment. Absolutely brilliant support. Make sure you smash the like button if you want to see more of these videos. I know you guys are loving them, and we love the talking points you guys are creating. It's absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us. Chris is saying bring Matty Cash in only so Doherty can get revenge in a training session. A bit like what I was just saying. Big up, Chris. Kev saying 3 finals, their front line and no goals scored. Yeah, a bit worrying for Liverpool, but there you go. And Liverpool competed on all fronts and went very deep into each competition. Nothing to be embarrassed about quality.
I agree with Finlay.
Yeah, no, listen, all I'm saying is I think Liverpool fans will be gutted that they didn't at least do the treble, because they were, close to the quad, then they're close to the treble. Now they've got two of the worst of the four trophies. Maybe that's a little bit harsh, but obviously Champions League, Premier League, are a more, lucrative competition, more luxurious win. Screw Matty Cash, there's Tappy, we're straight in there. Andy Midge is saying for right wing back, our best options are Spence. Singo and Pedro Porro. I've heard of Pedro Porro. Who's Singo? I haven't heard of him.
He's from Torino. He's new this season. We Are Tottenham
Okay.
TV did a good video on him. He's actually a good player. He obviously plays with guys from Bremer, who Spurs been linked with as well. He's an attacking fullback, high energy, and someone who could work, but he'd be a bit of a risk as he's only been, I think, he was signed for £100,000 from Torino just a season ago. So he's quite new to the Serie A, but he's had a good season there.
Okay, very interesting. But he's also put in that unless we somehow manage to pull off a Hakimi, do you guys think that's off the cards? I mean, that could still be on the cards, right?
I don't know. Do you think you can prize him away from PSG? I doubt it. The money he's on, playing with Leo, Messi, Mbappe, probably going to sign some more players this summer. I think it'd be hard to pull him away, but he's a world-class player.
But wasn't he unhappy at one point? I'm pretty sure there was rumours that he wasn't quite happy at PSG.
I didn't see that, but I still think even if he was on the market,
maybe I dreamt about it.
You did. Everyone would want him as well. Even though we got top 4, it'd be hard to prize him away. Do you not think?
Okay, yeah, no, fair point. Would take corner. Liverpool more guy. They never beat us. Klopp's still talking about it. Yeah, dry your eyes. No, Pedro Porro, keep the players' partners safe. Me too. Hakimi, and Louis saying Cash has good crossing ability, but defensively not the best. Other options are there. And Dara, big up Dara, welcome on in. He says, I thought he wasn't getting a lot of players. I haven't got a clue what this is.
No.
Andre, is there any more talking points? Do we want to conclude with maybe a final question for the chat? I mean, there is 30-something of people watching.
Well, I had one more player to talk about in terms of like the signings that I would want to see. Right? We said 3. I said 2.
I've got one as well.
You've said so many.
But I've got one that I forgot, and I've got to mention it. But Andre, you crack on.
Okay. Let me go first, and hopefully this won't spark too much of a debate. I think the Lamptey one definitely was like, whoa. Darwin Nunez actually, I think, would be a good signing. From 41 matches, he's got 34 goals and 4 assists. Wow. It's very, very good stats.
Like Luis Diaz stats in the Portuguese league, right?
Yeah. Now, depending on his play style and how which teams want to go for him, that will really be the big factor here, because there are a lot of positions that need to be filled. There needs to be competition on all positions. That's the only way that we can be a club that goes for the title, that goes for cups, because if one is dropping off, another one can come in that can fill in the void.
Mm-hmm.
I think Nunez would do very well and would slowly make his way creep his way into that starting lineup as Kane and Son era starts to sort of end in about 4 to 5 seasons, I think.
So would you sign him now and just keep him on the bench, or send him on loan, or what would you do?
I would say bring him in and just have him constantly come on, just the way that instead of having Bergwijn and Lucas Moura coming in for 5 minutes, bring in Darwin Nunez for the last 15, last 20, almost every game.
I think he's a player in high regard. I don't see him being a player who's happy to sit on the bench. He's obviously had a fantastic season. We've seen him in the Champions League. So I think he's going to be hard because I think he's been linked heavily with Man United and Liverpool and lots of clubs. And I think it's a great shout, Andre, because I think he's a really good player. But I think suited Tottenham's system, I feel like we're better off finding a player who can fit anywhere along the front three, rather than buying us just one out-and-out expensive striker. But I don't know. I think it's a debate that's a good debate.
Yeah. Good debate. Finn saying maybe we could get Pavard then, joking. Darwin Nunez supposedly being discussed with Real, but I can see him going to Liverpool. Maybe Darwin Nunez is Benfica, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he has a connection with Luis Diaz, obviously being Porto, but let's see. I could see him going to Liverpool, to be fair, especially if Mane goes, of course, another forward going. Nuno's too good to play backup and only get 15 minutes. Yeah, this isn't Carlos Vinicius. This guy's a very good player. But maybe we do a more in-depth review on the likes of Darwin Nunez and potential forwards later on, guys, on another video. So let us know if you want to see that. We're always looking for content ideas and we don't need too many ideas. Most of it will flow naturally this summer. But if you guys want us to do, ad hoc videos about particular player analyses, get Andre to do some stats reviews, then let us know. We can do some striker reviews, midfielder reviews, potential options on that wish list. I mean, Jack Burford's wish list goes on to the end of my road. So, I mean,
That's a realistic wish list this summer. Come on, let's be optimistic. I think it could happen. I think it could.
Yeah. Personally, I think you should sign Lewandowski and Benzema as backup for Kane. He's all got a bit silly. Klopp has spoken about him multiple times. There's Dara and Andre. I like Charles. I never know how to say this guy's name. I know who you mean, the guy from Genk. Very good player. Or is it Club Bruges?
No, it's I believe it's Club Bruges, and he from 49 matches, I believe it was 18 goals and 10 assists. So, it's not bad. That could be a solid understudy. But again, when it comes to these young guys,
quickly?
Huh?
You got those stats very quickly. It's like you have it in your head.
Yeah, basically. But
wow, computer.
What I was gonna say though, before I was interrupted, no, I'm just joking. 21 years old. It's one of those things where if he's scoring around 18 goals, getting 10 assists at that age, that's very promising. But you have to see how he does in the long run. Gollini was a very promising loan, and then look what happened. So we'll have to see. Understudies are exactly what they are. They're understudies, and there's a risk when you bring them in.
Yeah, true. I wanted to get to this question before we ended the stream.
That's exactly.
Is this what you wanted me to bring up?
I thought Kev, he's put it in a couple of times, and I like that question a lot.
Sorry, Kev, we're getting to your question. And I like this. Guys, always suggest questions for the panel because it's a great way to bring up talking points. I mean, so great that it's got so late on this stream, you can hardly see me because it's gone dark outside. But question for the panel, apart from the top 6 clubs, choose one player from the other clubs in the last season's Premier League. So, Andre, it's time for you to get up the table, my man, and do the stat side of this. But, Jack, if we start from maybe 7th place and see how this goes, maybe we could end up on this. I think it's quite a nice way to end up, don't you think?
Oh, 100%, because the player, more players, Jack's wish list is getting bigger. The parents have a lot to ask for Christmas. No,
okay, so he said apart from top 6, so I guess we start with 7th. So West Ham.
Choose one player from the other. West Ham, who would I love to bring in? Declan Rice.
Declan Rice. Okay, Andre, who would you take from West Ham? Sorry, guys, I was just turning on my
West Ham? Specifically, or just from...
Just from West Ham, and then we're going down the list. Quick fire. It's got to be quick fire. Boom, boom, boom.
Down the list. Okay, well, I would have also gone for Declan Rice, even though his price tag
Bowen. Bowen's been a fantastic season.
Yeah, I was
going to say the system perfectly. Bowen's fantastic player.
I think for Spurs, Declan Rice would have been a better signing because it's almost like a huge upgrade on Harry Winks and we can even play a 3 in midfield. So I'd say Declan Rice, and I actually like the guy as well.
However, his price tag is probably the entire investments that we have put for the summer. So
yeah, but we're just talking like I think the question is who would you take from each of the not
one player,
just apart from the price. Okay, yeah.
Realistically, West Ham aren't going to sell anyone to us. Realistically,
exactly.
Leicester, I would definitely I think this one without a shadow of a doubt, I think it would fit our bill completely in terms of if we want to switch out the formation. I would take James Maddison.
I take Tielemans.
I'm going to go with Pereira.
Pereira, right? Yes, right wing back. Very good shout. Okay.
Or James Justin. James Justin or Pereira. But anyway, maybe it's rapid fire. So.
Okay. What about you, Andre?
Oh, I said Tielemans.
Tielemans. Yeah, good shout. Castagne for Finn. Welsh guys saying Tielemans. Okay, next one. 9th, Brighton. I'm going to take Cucurella.
I'm going to stick with Lamptey for mine, just for now.
Jack?
I'm going to join Andre with Lamptey, even though I selected him a tiny bit earlier.
Okay. 10th, Wolves.
Oh, I've got mine 100%. The player I want to bring in, but I'll let you get... Go on, can I start?
You can start.
I was going to go Pedro Neto.
Oh, you stole my thunder. That's the one. He's the one I forgot.
Oh, yeah. Do you know what, lads? We've had a shocker. What about Basuma?
Oh,
my God, he's the player I was talking about. That is embarrassing. That is
That's
so
shocking.
embarrassing.
That is awful.
we forgot.
We've been stitched up at the end of this video. That is
I
honestly. That is
see the
awful.
comments. That is brilliant for letting us know how terrible that is.
Hwang Hee-chan, keeper for Wolves, Sar, maybe. Okay,
I would say Neves.
Ruben Neves, okay. Who are you going? Pedro Neto as well, Jack?
Oh, Pedro Neto. He's a player that I went with Richarlison because I thought it was more realistic. But if we could bring in Pedro Neto from Wolves, I think that'd be a real statement signing. I think he's fantastic. He's direct. He's quick. He'd fit in anywhere along the front three. Perfect player to add to the squad.
Okay, cool. By the way, the chat is loving this. So, who suggested this this idea?
Kevin, come on, Kev.
Absolute legend. Okay, it's gonna be a video on its own. Maybe we'll do a little different kind of video like this. 11th, Newcastle. Your turn to start, Andre.
Bruno Guimaraes.
Yeah, good shout. Good shout.
What he was in my my Premier League team, the fantasy one, got me so many points.
Okay, Jack.
Said Maximin on the wing.
Yeah, I'm going to say
he brings the play, brings the excitement. Bring him in the squad. I like him.
Yeah, I'm going to say Maximum as well. 100%. Welsh Gal, Joelinton for Finn, Bruno G, Gibbs White for the Wolves, and St. Maximum. Guimaraes says Louis. 12th, Crystal Palace. Where's our Palace expert? No. This is the easy one. This is easy. Wilfried Zaha.
No.
You going Conor Gallagher?
No.
I'm going for Eze.
No, I'm going for Mark Guehi, the centre back, England international now, fantastic player. I think he'll be a good player. So that's all I'm going.
Wow. Are you saying that from the perspective he's fitting to Spurs better than Zaha because Zaha maybe wouldn't start?
I think Zaha at Spurs. I think we could bring in better players in that position. I think Mark Guehi's a good young upcoming player. Also helps bring in the home quota, as we spoke about so many times in this video. So I think he'd be a brilliant player.
Wow. I mean, the chat split on this one. Zaha for Andy and Welsh Girl. Elise for A&Army and Guehi.
They've got a lot of good players. Finley Walker knows his ball knowledge. I'm telling you. He's had similar ideas to me.
Absolutely love it. 13th was Brentford. I mean, not really going to get... We're all agreeing on this one.
Yeah, Ericsson,
3, 2, 1, Ericsson.
He's on number 23. Ericsson.
Great, good shout from our Palace expert, Diego, absolute legend. Thanks for joining us for the whole video, mate. 14th, Villa. Are we going to get our Matt Cash guy back in? Jack, are you going for Villa?
Who am I going for? Villa. I'm going for Felipe Coutinho. He's a brilliant player. I like him a lot, and I would have him.
Well, you know who I'm gonna pick someone who they just signed, Diego Carlos.
Oh, you can't do that. You gotta be.
Why not?
I don't mind it. Andre. I'm gonna back you there. I don't mind it.
Southampton, Fraser Forster. He's their best player by miles, and we've got him. Cheers. No, joking aside, I think for Southampton.
Come on, that's an easy one.
That's an easy one, man.
James
you want him up?
James Ward-Prowse.
Yeah.
Or Cole Walker-Peters.
He's a good player, but JWP, set piece specialist, good player as well. But no, JWP would be perfect for Spurs this summer. I've said perfect about 100 times. It'd be a great addition to the squad.
Yeah, chat is agreeing here. Finn Sam Walker-Peters, though. He's going Jacob Ramsey for Villa, Digne for Villa for Welsh Gown, John McGinn, Tony for Brentford, Sid Starr, actually a fair shout. Kamara, who's that for? Villa.
He's just been signed from Villa. Just been signed,
James Ward-Prowse says Louis. Okay, chat is all for James Ward-Prowse. There's five more. Everton. You're going Richarlison, aren't you, Jack? So no prizes for that.
I am. I spoke about him too much. He'd be a good addition.
Yeah, I'd agree. Andre, you going something different?
Man, I don't know. I think I kind of rate Calvert-Lewin just a little bit more.
Whoa!
I think he's so good. He's very underrated.
Over your man Darwin Núñez. Who you having?
That's the worst
Núñez.
I think you've ever had on this channel.
Núñez or Calvert-Lewin? That's what I want to know.
That's a shock.
Who you having?
Someone clip that.
Well,
no way.
Núñez I would pick over him.
Charlison.
It's not. No. Come on, James. Cut him a bit of slack. This guy was bringing him 15 goals a season. He's not a terrible shout, Andre. But I don't pay you that much. I think he's a good player, but he's not a player we should be bringing in this summer.
Well, to be fair, I think I'm basing it off of that one season where he just absolutely destroyed. Like, he was just so good. But you know what? Clearly, I've made a horrendous pick because James is like laughing like crazy here. It's like I picked you.
It's not bad. It's not a bad shout, Andre. I'm not going to laugh at it either. I think
the listen, the most popular pick here isn't even Richarlison. I haven't seen his name once. It's Gordon, Anthony Gordon, Welsh Gal, Finn, and Andy saying Gordon. And Louis going, Tara's going Coleman, Louis going Defo Coleman, top 3 fullbacks in the world. Leeds, I'm going Rafinha.
Yeah, I would go for Rafinha too. He's so good.
Rafinha or Calvin Phillips would be perfect. Perfect. Why do I keep saying perfect? There'd be 2 great additions.
Jack Burford. Perfect. All of Jack's picks are perfect.
They're all perfect because I know them all. The ball knowledge is unbelievable. But Rafinha, would love him to join Spurs, but we're going to face too much competition, I think.
Actually, yeah, good shout, Pickford. We didn't even think of him.
Pickford, yeah, very good player, very good goalkeeper. Kept them up, to be honest.
Questionable.
Odds on Louis being Irish. Phillips at Leeds says Lily White Year agrees with you, Jack. Ayanami's going Rafinha. Phillips, Welsh going Kev. Kev's absolutely loving his question. Burnley. Oh, okay. Burnley, that's a hard one because, I mean, they're dead and buried. They're gone. Who are we going for?
There's like 3 good ones there.
Kick us off? I've got 2 that I'd actually take.
Tarkovsky? Was that one?
Yeah, that's one of them.
I'd say him or Nick Pope or
Him and Dwight McNeil.
Dwight McNeil, decent player. I actually said this on another channel. Dwight McNeil, good player.
I feel like his output isn't enough, though, but that could be the team.
Cornet? Yeah, we've forgotten about him.
He's playing for Burnley. They've got a few good players. You'd have thought, talking about them, they're actually not as bad as we keep saying they are.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple more. Watford, I mean, I'm going for Emmanuel Dennis. I think I'd take him as a backup striker.
Not Danny Rose?
Crumbs. Who are you going for, Jack? You're clutching at straws here. You're biding time. It's like countdown.
Oh, here, I'll do it.
Ismaila Sarr.
Yeah. Ismaila Sarr, both going, okay. Sissoko back, says Ayanami and Finn. I mean, I'm sure someone will buy. Pope for Dara. Sissoko says toxic headshot. Sarr, brilliant. And last one, Norwich. It's going to be... I don't know. I mean, their team is awful. They are woeful. Can we take no one?
Would you? I remember we were linked to Aaron's. Would you guys take Aaron's?
I mean, did you see Max Aaron's play on everyone for that goal? I mean, he doesn't know what defensive positioning is. I mean, I know maybe he's not at the best.
Do lone players at Norwich count?
Okay, go on.
I would have either Rashica or Billy Gilmore, but they're 2 players that I probably wouldn't even want the Spurs, but they're probably the best out of the bad
Billy Gilmore and
Billy Gilmore or Rashica. He was bought for quite a lot of money last summer. I think he played with Werder Bremen before. He's not a terrible player, and he scored a couple goals, I think, for the season. So could have been worse.
Campwell
says he plays for Bournemouth.
Pookie says Palace.
I mean, clutching at strings here, trying to get someone.
Roy Hodgson for me, highly underrated. Rashica is all right. Let's be having you. I'd like to have that ball boy. Sargent has had spells. What, 1 game, Finn? And Delia Smith says toxic headshot. I think that's how we end things off, guys. That's absolutely brilliant. Great
deadline day signing.
Absolutely brilliant from Kev. Great talking point, and still 30 of you strong on YouTube. Absolutely love it, guys. Thanks so much for the support. Be sure to smash a thumbs up on this video if you want to see more. We will be live throughout the week on various days, so catch us live. I will put it in the community section, so keep an eye on our community section on YouTube. Do follow our socials. Jack, you got a little plug? You want people to go and follow your Twitter, don't you, if they have Twitter?
Twitter, yeah, I've mentioned it in a few of my vlogs. My Twitter, Jack_Burford, I think it is, but James will probably tell me I'm wrong because I got it wrong last time. But yeah, go check out my Twitter thoughts. The channel might be starting soon, but you're going to see a lot of me here. So yeah, I look forward to it. We're going to have some fantastic content this summer. So make sure you hit the subscribe button because I'm telling you, you don't want to miss it.
Yeah, absolutely love it, Jack. And like you said, you'll be on a lot of our shows coming up. So do stick with us and Jack for the rest of the transfer window. Spurs Talk Show taught me about a no subscriber only mode. Do you know what, Sean? I was busy trying to do it for about 5 minutes. That's when I had my head down in the stream. I couldn't find out to do it. So you'll actually have to ring me and teach me how to do it, mate, because I have no idea. But listen, it's been a great stream regardless. Norwich's medical team, let's see, absolutely love it. Great show, lads, says Simply Ace. Palace says, well done all. Great stream, says Welsh Gal. Great addition, Jack is. Absolutely love it. And Simply Ace says, please keep them coming. Don't you worry, they will. Andre, thanks for joining me once again.
Yeah, of course, always happy to be here, bringing up the stats to talk about the players that are coming in to make this team a team to win cups.
Absolutely love that. And guys, thanks so much. Remember, come on, you Spurs!
Come on, you Spurs!
Come on, you Spurs! Let's take Timu Pukki. Tottenham playing on a Wednesday night.